You can now control Claude Code from your phone. Anthropic have just released a brand new feature called Remote Control, and it's generally one of the biggest features I've been waiting for. In this video, I'll show you exactly what Remote Control is, how we're able to get it set up and running, how it also differs from Teleport, and then we'll get straight into actually a demo as well. We'll cover the setup, the differences, and a real-life demo, all in about 10 minutes. So if you've ever been stuck at your desk trying to babysit Claude Code to finish a project, now that's completely over. So what is Remote Control? Well, it enables us to actually connect to our local running instance on our computer for that current Claude Code that we've got. We're then able to use our phone to actually talk to our machine and actually execute commands. We're able to work on both surfaces at once and is going to survive for at least 10 minutes, even if your network completely drops off. Currently, you do need to have a max plan to be able to run this, but they are also going to have support for the Pro plan in the future. So now we're going to come across the cursor quickly, and I'll show you exactly what you mean. We've been chatting to Claude Code on the right-hand side here, and it's generated this quick example dashboard or website that we've got in the background that, of course, we want to go through and change. Either this is actually a SaaS that we've got built out or a more complex challenge. This is where we can actually talk to it whilst we're on the go. All we need to do is come to the right-hand side. We're going to do / and then remote control, as we can see here, and press enter. Then we're going to say enable remote control for this session, or we can say never mind and we'll enter out. We're going to say enable control for this session, and it's going to load it up for us. What you should now see is that we've got this unique URL here. Make sure that you never share this with anyone else because it's your unique instance. So now if I come across to my iPad here, what we'll be able to see is that we've actually got that instance still running in the background. As we can see here, it's got everything from what we were using before, all the changes that we wanted, what we're going to use, and that specific design. So now if I come down the bottom, we can simply go through and just say, please can you go through and now change it so that we've got a dark color scheme instead of a white color scheme. Please also make sure to use the UI Max Pro skills that you've got access to really enhance that design that we've got. Now we're going to send that off. What we should then see is it running on the iPad, but also because it's now directly connected to our local machine, it's automatically able to go off and execute that command. So that's how it's now completely changing the game for how we're able to interact with Claude Code. So no matter where we are, what we're doing, we can have the iPad, our phone, whatever it may be, running constantly with us, and it will go through and actually execute it on your local machine. And this has been the major difference for how we're able to run Claude Code remotely, because up until now, the main feature that we've had for that is Teleport, and it's been a little bit unreliable for how we're actually able to go through and invoke it. The other side of this is, of course, it would start a Claude Code instance on the web. You wouldn't actually be running it on your local machine like you can with remote control. What it would do is it would start it up on the web, it would then go through, execute any of the commands, the tasks, anything like that, and then it would put it down to your local terminal later on. What we're now able to do instead is we're actually able to talk using our phone, our browser, our iPad, whatever it may be, and then never taking it outside of our machine. We're able to make sure that those updates are completed and executed exactly like we would if we were sat right in front of the machine. So that's definitely the way I'm going to be using it instead of using Teleport to chat to it like we did in the past. Now, the remote control feature also isn't automatically activated. It will only run when we actually run the command Claude Remote Control in the CLI, or when we're in IDEs like Cursor, Anti-Gravity, VS Code, we're able to use / remote control and, of course, do it that way. They've also thought about some of the security as well, so it's only going to make outbound HTTP requests. It's never going to open up or try and receive any of the inbound requests to our machine. So when do we want to use remote control versus Claude Code on the web? Well, remote control is definitely a way that I'm going to be using it because it executes everything on the local machine versus Claude Code Web doing exactly what we say, running it on the cloud infrastructure from Anthropic. So if we're deep in the middle of a vibe coding session, working session, whatever it may be, that's where, of course, having remote control is fantastic to be able to access it and go through and execute all of the commands. But there are some key limitations to be aware of. We're only able to do one remote session at a time at the moment. The terminal must stay open on your machine, whether that's running locally on your Mac Mini, your MacBook, whatever that may be, or a VPS instance that you've got set up. And of course, if there's an extended network outreach, there's roughly more than 10 minutes and it will time out, but you just need to run Claude Remote Control again and it will start it up for you. And as we can see in the background here, what we're able to see is exactly the same as what I've got on my local machine. I can also see on the iPad nice and easily. So if I wanted to go through and see exactly what the machine was doing, but I was walking around the house, I was in a different room, anything like that, we can access it nice and easily. So as we can see there, we've now got it up and running. I can still see that it's executing the playwright code on the iPad. I can't see that specific design because of course it's running on localhost 5174, so actually on the local instance. So there we go, and just after about 4 minutes, I've got exactly the same as we can see on the iPad, which will be over the screen now, as exactly the same as what we can see within the terminal on our local device. And this is just the start of what's possible with remote control. So I definitely recommend you checking it out, making sure that you turn on that remote control for your specific project, walk away, have it installed on your phone, your iPad, whatever it may be, chat to it back and forth, and just see how it completely changes how we're able to use Claude Code. And I think this is absolutely fantastic from Anthropic because it's really taking inspiration from their Teleport feature early on, as well as the rise of platforms like OpenClaw coming to the market for how we're able to create these autonomous agents that we're able to chat to anywhere in the world at any time to execute specific commands. Of course, with Claude Code being a lot safer than platforms like OpenClaw at the moment. And if you want to learn more about AI and automation, check the first link in the description and come across to the community. And as always, stay tuned for the next video and have a great day.